My cherished child, upon the moment they recognized your true essence, something profound within them didn't merely constrict, it shattered open like a vault of secrets, one they were ill-equipped to confront. They were under the impression that time was on their side, that you would remain confined within the image they had constructed, small, predictable, and within reach. However, today, their heart pulses with a rhythm that feels like a punishment, as they have finally unearthed the truth that was always laid bare before them. You were never mundane, never replaceable, never merely a transient chapter, you were the entire narrative they failed to comprehend. Now, the burden of this revelation weighs heavily upon their chest. A regret so profound that it constricts their ability to breathe. Your presence, your silence, your distance, they resonate within their very being. They find themselves replaying every moment where they underestimated your worth, each instance where they trivialized your affection, and every memory that suggested you required them more than they needed you. But today, destiny has rewritten the narrative, and the realization struck them with greater force than any heartbreak could muster. They have come to know you for who you truly are, not the caricature they fashioned, nor the version they managed to convince themselves of, but the reality that now instills fear within them. You were the blessing hidden in the guise of a person they failed to cherish properly. And this realization is suffocating their spirit. Each time your name crosses their mind, another pulse reverberates through their chest, not from anger or confusion, but from the sudden understanding that their ego had shielded them from the ultimate truth. You were the very reason they were destined to rise, not flee. Everything they attempted to ignore envelopes them like a revelation that cannot be unlearned. They now recognize that the loss of access to you is not a fleeting silence but rather the moment destiny murmured, "This is your consequence." Their heartbeat quickens because their soul is in turmoil, and for the first time, they feel uncertain about their ability to remain upright beneath the weight of this truth. This evening, they perched on the edge of their bed, hand pressed against their chest, whispering your name as if in supplication, only to have it returned to them with the force of thunder. They now comprehend why nothing with anyone else ever felt right, why their sense of peace vanished the moment you departed, and why their mind has been restless since your last encounter. It is because you were their alignment, their destiny, their opportunity for breakthrough. The belated recognition of this has enshrouded their heart in a pain so acute that it feels as though your absence is being etched into their very bones. This channel runs on your support and trust. If you feel this content added value to your life, you can show your appreciation with super thanks. They believed your distance was temporary until they grasped the fullness of who you are, someone whose existence fate safeguards and elevates, someone they should have fought for when they had the chance. Now, as they draw uneven breaths, one irrefutable truth blazes within their chest like fire. They are enduring suffering because the universe has lifted the veil on an identity they were once too blind to acknowledge. You are the soul they were meant to love, honor, cherish, and protect. Yet, they treated you as an option, and their heart aches as their spirit recognizes what their mind has denied. You were the answer to every prayer they uttered. And losing you was no mere accident, it was a consequence of failing to acknowledge your worth before destiny removed you from their grasp forever. My beloved child, something extraordinary is transpiring behind the scenes. The individual who once believed they could thrive without you now trembles beneath the weight of an unforeseen truth. The moment they truly discerned your essence was not only a mental shake-up, it dismantled the facade they had kept in place. Their chest constricts with every breath, as each inhalation serves as a reminder of the irrefutable fact they can no longer evade. You are their destiny incarnate, and by having pushed you away, they severed their alignment. With every heartbeat, they are reminded of the irreversible mistake they made, the opportunity that cannot be revisited, and the love that cannot be replicated. Join me in this journey because what I am about to share is something they wished to keep hidden. When they uncovered your truth, the impact was more intense than any confrontation, argument, or farewell. It struck them at their most vulnerable, their spirit. They have come to understand that your silence was not an indication of distance, but rather a form of protection. Your absence was not a punishment, but an evolution. Now, they find themselves alone, sifting through old messages in search of a sign that what the universe granted them hasn't been irrevocably lost. Yet, deep down, the fear pressing against their ribs confirms the reality: they took too long to recognize your worth. In the late hours of the night, they murmur words you will never hear, words steeped in regret and longing. They clutch their chest, for the sensation is painfully tangible, as though destiny itself is reminding them of every moment in which they dismissed your value. They have come to realize something profound: you were never the one in need of validation, rather, they were the ones in desperate need of awakening, an awakening that struck with the force of lightning, sudden, powerful, and undeniably true. Their heart struggles to keep pace with the truth their soul has long acknowledged. This internal conflict is tearing them apart. There is a moment etched in their memory, when someone disclosed a truth about you that halted their entire world. The manner in which others utter your name has transformed. The shift in energy surrounding you has become palpable. The protection fate extends towards you has evolved. They have finally grasped that you are rising, evolving, and stepping into a version of yourself they had previously deemed impossible. This awareness has morphed their regret into a tempest. They can hardly breathe, now understanding that you are transforming into the individual they always needed but did not know how to appreciate. Nothing stings more than the realization that they may not feature in your future narratives. This channel is my main source of income, and your support through Super Thanks helps me continue making free content. Hold on, for matters are about to intensify further. Their chest pain extends beyond mere emotion. It is the burden of innumerable unvoiced apologies, countless missed opportunities, and endless moments in which they should have selected you but failed to do so. As they witness your growth into the truth of who you are, an internal collapse resonates within them, not fueled by jealousy or anger, but by the profound realization that they lost something rare and divine, something that may never be encountered again. The universe has illuminated this truth, and their heart is now bearing the weight of this reality. My beloved child, their world is beginning to crumble in ways unimaginable, and with each collapse emerges a singular truth: you were the pivotal moment that their destiny presented, and they did not grasp how to hold it. The instant they uncovered who you truly are, the pain transcended their chest and resonated as a shockwave throughout their entire existence. They find it impossible to eat without feeling your absence. They cannot sleep without your name reverberating in the stillness. they can scarcely navigate their day without being confronted with the truth they so ardently sought to evade. You are the blessing they mishandled, the miracle they misunderstood, the soul they lost while chasing ephemeral shadows. Something within them is fracturing, not because you departed, but because they finally grasped the rationale behind why destiny chose to remove you from their possession. They now perceive the depth of your being, the strength you concealed, the light they took for granted. With each heartbeat serving as a forewarning, they realize that a second chance at this is a luxury they are unlikely to encounter again. Their chest constricts further as the universe reflects their error back upon them, with their body instinctively responding to what their spirit has already acknowledged. Your truth is too formidable to be disregarded any longer. A memory from your past continuously replays in their mind, a seemingly insignificant moment that now carries profound significance, the sincerity in your gaze. Your unwavering presence when others faltered, your ferocious protection of their heart, even as yours shattered. They recognize now that your love stemmed from a place they struggled to reach, comprehend, or appreciate. This realization has manifested as an indelible wound, a pressure in their chest that shows no signs of alleviation. Recently, someone revealed something about you that left them astonished. They did not merely learn who you are, they discovered the person you are becoming. And that truth struck them with the force of lightning. You are entering a phase of your life where your worth is no longer concealed, where your presence commands attention, where your energy is recognized. You are evolving into the individual they always required but lacked the maturity to honor. The weight of realizing this too late is suffocating. They cannot fathom that the same soul they once underestimated is now the very soul that beckons everyone else. The version of you that is no longer waiting, nor pursuing, nor diminishing for anyone, stands strong. It is the version that fate is elevating while others remain stagnant, breathless, as they witness your ascent beyond their wildest dreams. Their chest pain stems from an awakening that came too late, a love that was recognized too late, an understanding that arrived too late. As they observe the unfolding of your truth, their heart whispers a sentiment they failed to express when it truly mattered: you were the one. Unfortunately, the universe has placed an insurmountable distance between you, a distance that constricts them with every breath they take. My cherished child, tonight, the truth weighs heavier upon them than ever before. The pressure in their chest intensifies as each revelation about you dismantles the protective barriers they constructed to cope without you. They now grasp that you were never simply a fleeting presence in their life. You were the pivotal shift that destiny orchestrated to alter the course of their existence. This channel runs on your support and trust. If you feel this content added value to your life, you can show your appreciation with super thanks. Recognizing who you genuinely are leaves their heart feeling inadequate to contain the enormity of that realization. They instinctively press their hand against their chest, striving to quell the turmoil within, yet nothing alleviates the pain because the truth is too vast, too impactful, and tragically too late. As they grapple with the weight of their neglect, one thought crashes through their consciousness like a bolt of lightning: how did I allow someone as remarkable as you to slip away? Your silence resonates louder than any words, reverberating through their days, haunting their nights, and enveloping every heartbeat. They sift through memories, yearning to find a version of you that remains theirs, only to be confronted with the evolved individual the world now acknowledges. You are strong, ascending, and chosen. Their heart aches with the fear of watching you become everything they once dreamed of standing beside but failed to work hard enough to support. Before this narrative progresses, I urge you to pause and reflect on this message. If it resonates deeply within you, share it, and remain attentive because the next truth will be even more profound. Recently, someone spoke of you in a context they were never meant to hear about, and the revelation struck them like a tidal wave. They learned of your growth, your brilliance, the opportunities accumulating around you, the admiration you now receive, and the way life is aligning for you in ways they could never have anticipated. Instead of feeling joy, pride, or hope, their chest ignited with a pain that they could not conceal. Now they fully witness what destiny has consistently endeavored to reveal. You were never in the process of becoming special, you have always embodied it. They simply weren't prepared to see it. Every missed opportunity has become a wound, every moment of hesitation has turned into a scar. Each time they believed you would wait for them has morphed into an unbearable weight they can no longer bear. They attempt to distract themselves by burying the truth under work, noise, conversation, anything to flee from the reality that relentlessly pursues them in every space they occupy. Yet, regardless of where they go, the same realization bombards them repeatedly. Everyone recognizes your value except for the one who needed to see it first. Their heart races whenever your name is mentioned, for your transformation is undeniable, unstoppable, and irreplaceable. They fear that the world will embrace you swiftly, more so than they can apologize or redeem themselves, that another will appreciate you in the manner they should have from the outset. With each passing day, the ache in their chest intensifies. As the universe unveils a truth that renders them powerless, you are evolving beyond their grasp. Before this moment concludes, I implore you to hold on to this message. Allow it to linger. If it resonates with you, share it forward. The next part of this truth is set to pierce even deeper. Their chest pain is not merely physical, it is destiny pressing down upon them with the weight of all they failed to value. They now comprehend why nothing feels right, why every path appears burdensome, and why their heart refuses to settle. Their soul understands what their mind has denied all along. You are the alignment for which they prayed but never honored. Now, as you step into your power, they are compelled to witness the beauty they lacked the courage to appreciate before fate disentangled you from their grasp forever. My dear child, tonight, their soul trembles in a manner they can no longer conceal, for the truth about you is no longer confined to their thoughts. It is shaking the very foundation of their spirit. The discomfort in their chest is not merely about the past or losing you, it is about the moment they finally comprehended who you are, what you represent, and why your absence has rendered their world frigid. They did not merely lose a person, they lost a divine connection, a rare and transformative bond crafted by destiny. With every breath they take, they are reminded of the miracle they allowed to slip away. Gazing into the mirror, they no longer recognize themselves, they see someone haunted by remorse, someone who grasped too late that the universe entrusted them with something extraordinary, a gift they were unprepared to embrace. Their chest constricts as they confront this undeniable truth. Your radiance was never ordinary, your love was never ephemeral, and your presence can never be substituted. The moment they discerned what destiny has in store for you, their entire being responded, for they knew they should have been by your side throughout the journey you are now embarking upon. Instead, they are reduced to mere spectators as you emerge into a version of yourself that overwhelms them with its brilliance. They endure a fear they dare not articulate, a fear that another will appreciate your value as they should have from the outset. They envision someone beside you, matching your energy, supporting your growth, cherishing the heart they mishandled. The mere thought of another soul occupying the space they should have occupied ignites a pain in their chest that renders them breathless. They never anticipated the possibility of losing you permanently. They presumed you would always be nearby, always waiting, always forgiving. Yet destiny has shifted. You are no longer waiting, you are evolving. This evolution silently dismantles them. Those around them have begun to note the change. They walk differently, speak less, and often drift off in conversation, their thoughts perpetually returning to you. Recently, someone inquired about their well-being, and they forced a smile, concealing the burning discomfort in their chest because nothing feels right anymore. The truth they unearthed about you has transformed their entire understanding of their loss. They now recognize why they were perpetually drawn to you, why they struggled to forget you even when they wished to, and why no one else could occupy the void you left behind. It was because you were never just a person, they were intertwined with your soul. Now, with the truth illuminated, that connection feels like an unhealed wound. In the stillness of the night when the world is hushed, they place a hand over their heart, as if to soothe something tumultuous within them. Yet, nothing calms it, for the realization of who you are continues to surge forth like an unstoppable tidal wave. They suffer not merely due to missing you but because they finally grasp the profound nature of the gift they were given and the magnitude of their loss. As destiny continues to elevate you, their remorse constricts around their chest, serving as a reminder that some truths manifest only once, and when overlooked, they seldom return in the same manner. My cherished child, the universe is confronting them with a truth they can no longer evade. A truth that bears an unimaginable weight upon their chest. The moment they recognized your true essence, something within them did not merely break, it collapsed entirely. Their breath falters each time you come to mind, as the universe replays the poignant message that you were meant to be their partner in building, growing, and rising together, and that they let you slip away. Now, every heartbeat serves as a reminder of the destiny they mishandled and the love they misunderstood. They awaken in the middle of the night, feeling their chest constricting, reaching for their phone, longing to find traces of your presence through your name, your image, your essence, hoping the universe might grant them one final glimpse of what they lost. Yet, the more they learn of the person you are becoming, the more the pain amplifies, for they are now perceiving your truth unambiguously. You were never the one in need of affirmation, they were the one who needed awakening, and that awakening is occurring too late to spare their heart from the inevitable consequences. Their mind incessantly replays the moment when someone disclosed something about you for which they were woefully unprepared. They discovered your growth, your inner strength, your rising influence, and the way the world is starting to acknowledge you, a revelation they should have grasped first. That realization struck them so profoundly that they were momentarily rendered speechless. Their chest tightened with the understanding of why they could never replace you, why their spirit never detached from you, and why their heart resisted stabilizing with anyone else. You were not meant to be substituted, you were meant to be appreciated. And that realization dawned upon them precisely when the universe thrust you ahead of them. Now, they are gripped by terror, not of losing you, for they recognize that chapter has already closed, but by the thought that someone else may step into the role they were destined to occupy, someone who instinctively recognizes your worth, someone who respects your heart as the treasure it is, and someone who resonates with your energy without hesitation. The idea of another soul occupying the space they should have claimed sends a shock through their chest, leaving them gasping for air. Their regret is no longer a mere emotional burden, it has morphed into a physical weight pressing against their ribs every time fate reminds them of your name. Yet, what torments them the most is this: they are acutely aware that the version of you that exists today is the embodiment of the person they are. They are no longer the individual you reach out to, the one you confide in, or the one who has access to your innermost self. This reality weighs heavily on them, as they have come to grasp a truth that fate attempted to unveil to them long ago: you were a hidden blessing in their life. However, blessings do not linger indefinitely, they evolve, ascend, and ultimately surpass those who fail to nurture them adequately. As they lie in bed tonight, hand resting on their heart, they quietly murmur your name into the stillness, not in anticipation of an answer, but because voicing your name is the only thing preventing their heart from shattering completely. Their soul quivers at the newfound recognition of your true essence, and they comprehend why the universe has ceased to provide them with space beside you. The anguish they feel is the cost of awakening too late. Their heart aches under the weight of realization. The individual they lost is now being lifted by destiny beyond their reach. My dear child, tonight destiny reveals to them a harsh truth they never envisioned confronting. The pressure in their chest has become nearly unbearable. This is not merely regret or longing, but a profound realization, akin to a storm breaking within their soul. They finally comprehend that the universe was not punishing them by separating you, rather, it was illuminating a truth they had refused to acknowledge. You operated on a plane that they were unprepared to meet. Now that they recognize who you truly are, their heart struggles to cope with the burden of all they overlooked, underestimated, and ultimately lost. Alone, they sit with their head in their hands, striving to control their breathing. Each inhalation seems to carry your name, and each exhalation serves as a reminder of what they failed to cherish. Their chest feels constricted as their mind incessantly replays the signs they overlooked: your patience, loyalty, depth, power, and quiet strength. They now perceive everything with an intensity so sharp it is painful. They grasp why the universe protected you, why destiny consistently issued warnings, and why their soul resisted detachment even when their ego led them to make choices in opposition to their heart's desires. You were never merely a romantic interest, you were their divine alignment. Recently, someone looked them in the eye and spoke of you with a tone they weren't ready for, one of respect, admiration, and even awe. That moment struck them deeply, for the first time, revealing how the world now regards you, as evolved, elevated, and untouchable. They came to the realization that they are not the only one drawn to your energy, not the only one who recognizes your value, nor the only one who feels the magnetic pull of your presence. The awareness that someone else might occupy the space destiny once reserved for them is tearing them apart internally. Their suffering stems from the understanding that they did not lose you by chance, they lost you because they failed to rise when destiny called upon them. They frequently check their phone, wondering if your silence is either a challenge or a farewell. Yet, they know the truth, their spirit knows the truth. Your silence is not a punishment but the sound of you embarking on your next chapter without glancing back. That is why their heart feels heavy, their breath shallow, and their nights interminable. You were the calm in their chaos, the anchor amidst their confusion, and the gentle truth in their cacophonous world. Now, in your absence, everything seems out of alignment. Their heart grapples with the notion of a reality where they are no longer part of your unfolding journey. There exists a moment they shall never articulate, a moment today when they whispered into an empty room, "I finally understand who you are." In that fleeting whisper, their chest tightened so painfully that they had to brace themselves against the wall. They now truly see your worth, your purpose, and the destiny that is unfolding like a prophecy they were too blind to acknowledge. Their anguish is not arbitrary, it echoes every instance they failed to safeguard what the universe placed within their life. They are in pain because they have finally grasped the truth the universe has been trying to show them all along. You were not merely a love, you were someone for whom they were meant to evolve, grow, and ascend beside. And now, as destiny elevates you, their heart remains heavy with the absence you once filled, understanding that they may never again encounter the future they were meant to share with you. Hoped you would become the confident, ascendant, chosen version of you. And still, they find themselves distant, unable to bear witness to this extraordinary transformation.